this is Kayye. We're at InfoComm 2025, and we're here with Monte McGuire with Joan. If you don't know who Joan is, you need to know who Joan is. Joan is a lot more than a room design company. I mean, you've really built an ecosystem for UC and kind of any application where you need room signage, scheduling, things like that.
No, absolutely, you're right, Gary. We have become more of a room or corporate management solutions software company.
Yeah.
We do provide hardware, but we have everything from workplace digital signage to our traditional room scheduling. We also provide desk booking or hoteling, visitor management, and again, the kind of a more of a robust CMS workplace digital signage solution.
Well, really what is unique about you is that you're not just providing the hardware, but you're also providing a really sophisticated software infrastructure that's sort of really a very tight ecosystem, and that's kind of what I want to go through is sort of how this all works. And so what I want to kind of do is kind of go through what the different options are, and then what's interesting about it is the same software, from what I understand, it's the same software that runs it all.
Correct.
Regardless of the form factor of the sign that you use, what the application is.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So obviously, you know, most people when they think e-paper, they think of the Kindle.
Absolutely.
And this is very similar technology where, in this case, this is not using any power or anything unless you change the screen. So it's hung with a magnet.
Yep.
You charge it here.
Yes.
And tell me about this.
Actually, I want to correct there. This is, we're showing kind of our workplace digital signage.
Okay.
Right here. In this application, you can be used as room placards. You can display corporate messages, the weather, you know, fire alarms, anything like that that the corporate office wants to display. But the charging side of it, this is not charging it. This is a smart magnet.
Oh, very cool.
So what that means is, if you had 10 of these throughout a corporate headquarters, and you went back and you charged the unit overnight, the next day you could come back and put any display on that magnet. The magnet remembers the room. You don't have to match the display to that magnet.
So basically, you could have a cache of these displays. You don't have to remember which one goes where.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's very interesting. So the content. So this is providing the communications for the content as well.
Correct.
That's very cool. That's innovative. And so and ultimately, this one has it. This one doesn't. Like, what's the difference in this particular case?
Correct. So our 6 Pro is more landscape. Our 6RE is more portrait. You can see there's a little bit of a difference in the bezel.
Yeah.
Okay. We find that the 6 Pro works really well in larger executive rooms, while the 6RE tends to be more in huddle spaces.
Okay.
And you're going to get a 6-month battery life out of this.
Okay.
While you get a 3-month battery life out of this.
Before you have to charge it.
Before you have to charge.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And so this is more than just a bigger version of that. This is also room booking and room management as well, right?
Absolutely. This is a touch interface, so you can schedule on this device. One thing I would like to point out is this was just awarded AV Best in Show.
There you go.
Yep.
Look at that.
So it's a beautiful 13-inch display that when you want to, as you can tell, you can schedule ad hoc, but you can show up to 3 to 4 different meeting rooms on one large display.
And does this work with Google Calendar, with Teams? Does it work with any, all the major applications for room scheduling?
Absolutely. Okay. I think what I love to show people is what's a differentiator between Joan and others is, let's say, for example, that this piece of acrylic right here is a glass conference room.
Right.
Okay. Well, all you really need to do is take our magnetic mount, stick it on the glass wall, attach the display, you connect it to the customer's Wi-Fi, you then connect it to their calendaring system, Google 365, Outlook, and you have a room scheduling system up and running.
So you don't actually have to have a wire even to the magnet?
No wire, no cable, no nothing. Because at 6 months, when you get a notification at 6 months, you're going to take this down, charge it overnight with a USB-C, next day put it back on, and you're good for another 6 months.
Very interesting. So that's very convenient for install.
And even on a larger display like the 13 Pro, you're going to get a 6-month life out of that.
All right, and then what's the difference in these versus what you showed me here?
Okay, again, a 6 Pro.
Yeah.
The 6 Pro, this one is just showing room booking.
Okay.
That was more of our content digital signage.
Okay.
Now what's beautiful about this is, let's say that there's customers that are like, you know what, I really like the look of I just don't want to charge it every 6 months. I really want something that's more permanent.
Okay.
So this is our PoE mount.
Okay.
Okay, so you run cable down to it, and with our PoE mount, you get a green light if the room's open, you get a red light if the room is booked. And to me, one of the things that a lot of people don't understand is with e-paper technology, it's such a low energy consumption product, right? So even on our PoE, you're getting 95 to 98% less energy usage than you do on traditional LCDs. So for those green initiatives or lowering the carbon footprint, it's a great product.
Yeah, and obviously as younger people age up, that's going to become a bigger and bigger issue.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, so this is the 6RE as well.
This is the 6RE. Again, it just doesn't have the smart magnet. You charge it every 3 months, but again, great for smaller conference rooms or huddle spaces.
Got it. All right, but you're also showing the use of an iPad, and you also have LCD as well.
Yeah, what we're trying to show is that we're becoming a little bit more hardware agnostic, right? We realize there's customers out there that have invested thousands of dollars in
somebody else's room,
some other hardware.
Yeah.
So if they've already invested in hardware, but they want a more robust software that provides AI analytics on the back end and provides a very intuitive user interface, they can use our software.
And so what's nice about that is you can go facility-wide using your software, but then accommodate hardware they may already have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And let's say, for example, that they don't have anything on the glass conference rooms.
Yeah.
So you could actually take our hardware and use it on the glass rooms while they use these everywhere else. And you can, again, use our hardware and our software combined with other products.
Perfect. All right, and tell me about this.
So this is an example of, again, e-paper technology. This is our 32-inch display. This is just showing that we have a more robust CMS digital signage platform.
So it's more than, I think a lot of people do look at you as a UC platform, and you're saying, look at us as a digital signage medium.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With our digital sign, this is a wonderful product. With a 32-inch, you could use it for wayfinding. You could use it for, corporate messages.
Yeah, for a menu board.
Absolutely, and you get a 1 year lifespan on the battery on this, so you only charge us once a year.
Right, and it actually changes a lot fast than typical e-paper that I've seen on the show floor.
Correct.
This is a little bit more sophisticated than the stuff I'm seeing come out now from some of the bigger brands like Samsung. And obviously they're color, but your refresh rate is much faster.
Yes, sir.
Is that because it's grayscale?
I think because it's not color. Color tends to you're going to need more pixels.
Yeah.
Right, and it drains the battery life on it as well as the refresh rate.
And also the color, we're still not yet there where the color looks like the color we're used to seeing.
You're correct.
You're trading off. It looks more matte finish.
Correct.
This is interesting. So this is 32 inches, and you only have to charge it once a year.
Yes.
Wow. So obviously, it's not that this has a battery in it. It's holding the charge.
There is a battery in there.
There is a battery.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. It's so thin. Very well designed.
Yeah, it's a beautiful product.
Yeah.
And also what we want to show too here is that even with our digital signage CMS package, we can work on other LCDs. We don't necessarily have to be on e-paper.
Yeah.
We run on many, many different LCD products.
And so, tell me how you charge, and sort of is it a seat license? Is it a enterprise-wide license for using the software itself, or how does that work?
So with our Joan room scheduling, it's a per device charge. It's pretty minimal compared to what a lot of customers are used to paying. And then with our visitor check-in, it's an annual one-time fee. And again, with our digital signage, same.
And we're obviously here in the Almo Pro AV booth.
Yes.
Are they your distributor for the U.S., or is there another way to engage with you?
They are the distributor in the United States.
Okay, so almoproav.com. To learn more about Joan, is it Joan.com?
GetJoan.com.
GetJoan.com, that's right. It is GetJoan.com. I should have remembered that because I was at your website this morning. GetJoan.com. Monte, thank you very much for taking the tour. First time I really had a chance to really look at your stuff was ISE.
Yeah.
And I've really fallen in love with it because I like the simplicity of what you're doing here. it's interesting because I also like the complexity of the industry,
Yes.
but I like the simplicity of what you're doing here because I feel like there's so many applications where you just want a simple room sign. Like even where I teach at the University of North Carolina, it'd be nice to have room signs for all of our offices that just simply said who we were and what our role was in the company. But to do that, it just seems like so difficult, and you've really dumbed it down quite a bit, for lack of a better term.
I agree, and it's one of the reasons why I came to Joan. I think it's a great market, it's a great product, and I think it's a little bit, the product itself is a little sexier, sleeker, less of a profile. Somebody told me today that the minimalist approach is very attractive, so I agree with you.
Yeah, I think that this could be used even in applications where you're not actually doing room scheduling, you just want a sign outside the door.
Absolutely.
So check it out at getjoan.com. Hey, thanks for watching. We got a lot more InfoComm coverage to go. All of our coverage at ravepubs.com/InfoComm.
Thanks all.